At the age of 365, on a solemn day in the first month, my home was filled with a deep, oppressive solitude. I grieved silently, tears welling up in my eyes. Lying in my bed, resting peacefully, two figures of unparalleled radiance appeared before me. Their presence was like a brilliant light, their faces shining as if illuminated by the sun itself. Their eyes blazed like burning lamps, and fire seemed to flow from their mouths. Their garments were majestic, resembling the feathers of a magnificent plumage. Their arms, shining like golden wings, gleamed with a celestial glow as they stood beside my bed. They called me by name, speaking with voices that reverberated with power and authority. Enoch, Enoch. The sound of their voices stirred me from my slumber. As I awoke, they spoke again. Take heart, Enoch, and fear not. The everlasting God has sent us to you, for today you shall ascend with us into heaven. After sharing these words with my sons, the beings summoned me. They lifted me upon their wings, and I was carried away, soaring through the clouds. As we ascended higher, I saw the vast expanse of the heavens stretching before me. Higher still, I beheld the ether, and at last, they brought me to the first heaven. In the heavenly realms, where I stood in the presence of Elohim, I was entrusted with the profound secrets of life and death. Here, I was shown the tragic fall of the angels. As the children of men multiplied upon the earth, their daughters were born with extraordinary beauty and grace. The angels, known as the children of heaven, gazed upon these daughters with longing and desire. They spoke to one another, saying, "Come, let us choose wives from among the daughters of men, and bear children." But their leader, Semjaza, voiced his concern, saying, "I fear that you will not all agree to this plan, and I alone will bear the penalty of a great sin." Yet, despite his fear, the angels were resolute. They answered, "Let us swear an oath, binding ourselves by mutual imprecations, not to abandon this plan, but to carry it out." And so, they swore together, binding themselves in this oath. In total, there were 200 angels who descended during the days of Jared, and they alighted upon the summit of Mount Hermon. They named the mountain Mount Hermon because of the oath they had sworn there, binding themselves by mutual imprecations. Among these fallen angels, the leaders included Semjaza, Arakulba, Ramiel, Kokablel, Tamlel, Ramlel, Danel, Ezekiel, Barakijal, Asael, Armaros, Batarel, Ananel, Zaklel, Samsapil, Satarel, Turel, Jumjael, and Sariel. Each leader commanded a division of 10. These angels took wives for themselves, each choosing one, and they began to defile themselves with them. The angels, in their corrupting influence, taught their human wives the secrets of magic, charms, enchantments, and the cutting of roots. They revealed the hidden knowledge of plants, and the women became pregnant, giving birth to giants, beings of enormous size, towering at a height of 3,000 ells. These giants consumed the resources of the earth, and when the men could no longer provide for them, the giants turned against humanity. They devoured the people and soon began to devour one another's flesh and drink their blood. The earth itself, overwhelmed by this lawlessness, cried out in accusation against the transgressors. Azazel, one of the fallen angels, taught men to forge weapons, swords, knives, shields, and breastplates. He revealed the secrets of the metals of the earth and the craft of working them. He also taught the making of bracelets, ornaments, and the use of costly stones, as well as the beautifying of eyelids with antimony and various dyes. As a result of this knowledge, godlessness spread, and men became corrupt. They engaged in fornication, led astray by the angels' teachings. Semjaza, too, instructed them in enchantments and the cutting of roots, while Armoros taught them how to break enchantments. Barakijal shared his knowledge of astrology. Kokabel revealed the secrets of the constellations, and Ezekiel taught the knowledge of the clouds. Arakiel explained the signs of the earth, Shamsiel, the signs of the sun, and Sariel, the course of the moon. As the corruption spread, the cries of humanity rose to the heavens, pleading for relief from the destruction brought by the fallen angels. The archangels, Michael, Uriel, Raphael, and Gabriel, looked down from heaven, witnessing the bloodshed, lawlessness, and the devastation that had overtaken the earth. Ravaging the earth, a great sorrow and anger gripped the hearts of the people. They spoke to one another, saying, "The earth, once a place of peace, now cries out with the voices of the afflicted. Their cries have reached the very gates of heaven." The holy ones of heaven were moved by the pleas of the souls of men, who cried out, "Bring our cause before the Most High." The archangels then addressed the Lord of the ages, "Lord of lords, God of gods, King of kings, and God of the ages, your throne of glory endures through all generations. Your name is holy, glorious, and blessed for all ages. You are the creator of all things, and you hold power over everything. Nothing is hidden from your sight. You see all things. You see what Azazel has done, teaching unrighteousness on earth and revealing eternal secrets meant only for heaven. Samlazaz, who was entrusted with authority to lead, has led his companions astray. They have gone to the daughters of men, taken them as wives, and defiled themselves. They have revealed all kinds of sin to them. The women have borne giants, and now the earth is filled with bloodshed and lawlessness. The souls of the dead cry out, their pleas rising to the gates of heaven. Their lamentations do not cease because of the lawless deeds committed on earth. You, who know all things before they come to pass, have seen these events and allowed them to unfold. Yet, you have not told us what to do about it. Then, the Most High, the Holy and Great One, spoke. He sent the archangel Uriel to the son of Lamech, saying, "Go to Noah and tell him in my name, hide yourself, for the end is near. The whole earth will be destroyed by a great flood. Instruct Noah to prepare, so that he and his descendants may be preserved for all generations." The Lord then commanded Raphael, "Bind Azazel, hand and foot, and cast him into the darkness. Open a pit in the desert, in the land of Dudael, and throw him there. Place rough, jagged rocks upon him, cover him with darkness, and let him remain there forever. Cover his face, so that he cannot see the light. On the day of great judgment, he shall be cast into the fire. Heal the earth that the angels have corrupted. Proclaim the earth's healing, so that the children of men may not perish, because of the secret things the watchers have taught. The entire earth has been corrupted by the works of Azazel. To him ascribe all sin." To Gabriel, the Lord commanded, "Proceed against the bastards and reprobates, and the children born of fornication. Destroy the children of the watchers among men. Send them to battle each other, so that they may destroy one another. They shall not live long lives, and no request they make will be granted by their fathers on their behalf. For they hope to live eternally, each one dreaming of living 500 years. Then the Lord spoke to Michael, saying, "Go, bind Samlazaz and his associates, who have defiled themselves with women. When their sons have slain one another, and they witness the destruction of their loved ones, bind them for 70 generations in the valleys of the earth, until the day of their judgment. Lead them to the abyss of fire, to the torment and prison, where they shall be confined forever. Whoever is condemned and destroyed will be bound with them until the end of all generations. Destroy all the spirits of the reprobates and the children of the watchers, because they have wronged mankind. Destroy all evil from the face of the earth, and let every wicked work come to an end. Let the plant of righteousness and truth appear, and it shall be a blessing. The works of righteousness and truth shall be planted in joy forevermore. Then all the righteous shall escape and live, and their descendants will multiply into thousands. Children will complete their days in peace, living long lives filled with joy. The entire earth will be tilled in righteousness and filled with blessings. All desirable trees will be planted, vines will yield abundant wine, and the seed sown will bear 1,000-fold. Each measure of olives will yield 10 presses of oil. The earth will be cleansed from all oppression, unrighteousness, sin, and godlessness. All uncleanness will be destroyed. All the children of men shall become righteous, and all nations shall offer adoration and praise. The earth shall be cleansed from all defilement, sin, punishment, and torment. I will never again send upon it such afflictions from generation to generation, and forevermore. In those days I will open the storehouses of blessings in heaven, pouring them down upon the earth. Truth and peace shall flourish throughout all the days of the world and all generations. Before these things, Enoch was hidden, and none of the children of men knew where he was or what had become of him. His activities involved the watchers, and he spent his days with the holy ones. Enoch, blessing the Lord of majesty and the King of the ages, was called by the watchers. Enoch, scribe of righteousness, they said, "Go, declare to the watchers of heaven, who have left the high heaven, the holy eternal place, and defiled themselves with women. Tell them, you have wrought great destruction on the earth, and you shall have no peace nor forgiveness of sin. As you delight in your children, you will witness their murder and destruction. You shall lament over their deaths and make supplications for eternity, but mercy and peace you shall not attain." Enoch wrote their petition and prayer regarding their spirits and deeds, seeking forgiveness and length of days. He went to the waters of Dan, in the land of Dan, south of the west of Hermon, where he read their petition until he fell asleep. In his sleep, a dream came to him, and visions of chastisement fell upon him. A voice commanded him to tell it to the sons of heaven and reprimand them. When Enoch awoke, he found the watchers gathered together, weeping in Abel's Yale, between Lebanon and Senneser, their faces covered. He recounted all the visions he had seen in his sleep and began to speak words of righteousness, reprimanding the heavenly watchers. In those days, the Benai Elohim looked upon the daughters of men with desire. During the days of Jared, 200 angels fell from the heavens and took wives for themselves. It was on Mount Hermon, where they swore and bound themselves by an oath. In those days, the angels fell and taught humans the secrets of the heavens. It was said that they corrupted the earth, but one man would save the seed of humankind. He was not fully human, but resembled the sons of God, the Benai Elohim. He was the chosen one of that time, and his name was Noah. In those days, Methuselah, the son of Enoch, took a wife for his son Lamech. She became pregnant and bore a son whose appearance was extraordinary. His body was as white as snow and as red as the blooming of a rose, with hair as white as wool and eyes that shone beautifully. When he opened his eyes, the entire house lit up like the sun, filling it with a brilliant light. As the newborn lay in the midwife's hands, he opened his mouth and spoke, conversing with the Lord of righteousness. Lamech, overwhelmed with fear, fled to his father Methuselah. "I have begotten a strange son," he said, "one who is different from any man, resembling the sons of the God of heaven. His nature is different. His eyes shine like the rays of the sun, and his countenance is glorious. It seems he is not sprung from me, but from the angels. I fear that in his days a wonder may be wrought on the earth. I implore you, go to Enoch, our father, and learn the truth from him, for he dwells among the angels." Methuselah, troubled by his son's words, journeyed to the ends of the earth to find Enoch. When he arrived, he called out, and Enoch heard his voice and came to him. "Here I am, my son," Enoch said. "Why have you come to me?" Methuselah replied, "A great cause of anxiety has come upon me. A disturbing vision brought me here. It compelled me to seek you. A son has been born to Lamech, unlike any other. His nature is not like man's nature. His body is whiter than snow, redder than the bloom of a rose, with hair whiter than wool. His eyes shine like the sun, and when he opens them, he lights up the entire house. He blessed the Lord of heaven upon his birth. Lamech, filled with fear, fled to me, doubting that the child is his. He believes the boy resembles the angels of heaven. I have come to you to learn the truth." Enoch listened carefully and then responded, "The Lord will do a new thing on the earth. I have seen it in a vision. In the generation of my father Jared, some of the angels of heaven transgressed the word of the Lord. They sinned and broke the law. They united themselves with women and begot children by them. These children were giants on the earth, beings of flesh, not spirit. Because of this, great punishment will come upon the earth to cleanse it from impurity. A great destruction is coming, a deluge that will last for 1 year. This son born to you will remain on the earth, and his 3 children will be saved with him. When all of mankind perishes, he and his sons shall be spared. Tell Lamech that this child is indeed his son, and name him Noah. He shall survive the coming destruction that will be brought upon the earth because of the sin and unrighteousness that have filled the days. After this destruction, even greater unrighteousness will arise. However, the mysteries of the holy ones have been revealed to me by the Lord. I have read them in the heavenly tablets. Generations will continue to transgress until a generation of righteousness arises. That generation will destroy transgression and sin, bringing all manner of good upon the earth. Now, my son, go and tell Lamech that his son is truly his, and that there is no lie in this." Methuselah, having heard his father's words and the secrets revealed to him, returned to Lamech and told him everything. They named the child Noah, for he was destined to bring comfort to the earth after all the destruction. In those days, Noah saw that the earth had sunk, and its destruction was near. Alarmed, he journeyed to the ends of the earth and cried aloud to his grandfather Enoch. Noah called out 3 times with a voice filled with anguish, "Hear me, hear me, hear me." I responded to him, "Tell me what is happening on the earth, that it is in such a dire state, trembling as though it too may perish." There was a great commotion on the earth, and a voice from heaven was heard. Overwhelmed, I fell on my face. My grandfather Enoch then appeared, standing beside me. He asked, "Why have you cried out to me with such bitterness and weeping?" A command has gone forth from the presence of the Lord concerning those who dwell on the earth. Their ruin is accomplished because they have learned all the secrets of the angels, the violence of the Satans, and all their powers, even the most secret ones. They have delved into the power of sorcery, witchcraft, and those who create molten images. They have unearthed the secrets of the earth, how silver is produced from its dust, and how soft metal originates. Lead and tin are not produced from the earth like the first. Rather, a fountain produces them, and an angel stands therein, a preeminent angel. Enoch then took hold of my hand, raising me up. He said, "Go, for I have asked the Lord of Spirits about this commotion on the earth." He told me, "Because of their unrighteousness, their judgment has been determined, and it shall not be withheld forever. Due to the sorceries they have sought and learned, the earth and its inhabitants shall be destroyed. They have no place of repentance forever, for they have revealed what was hidden, and they are damned. But as for you, my son, the Lord of Spirits knows that you are pure and guiltless of this reproach concerning the secrets. He has destined your name to be among the holy, and will preserve you among those who dwell on the earth. Your righteous seed is destined for kingship and great honors, and from your lineage shall come a fountain of the righteous and holy, without number, forever." After this, he showed me the angels of punishment, prepared to release all the powers of the waters beneath the earth to bring judgment. Destruction is coming upon all who dwell on the earth. The Lord of Spirits commanded the angels who were going forth, instructing them not to allow the waters to rise, but to hold them in check. For these angels were in charge of the powers of the waters. With these instructions, I departed from the presence of Enoch, burdened with the heavy weight of knowledge and the fate of the world. In those days, the word of God came to Noah, saying, "Noah, your lot has come before me, a lot without blame, a lot of love and uprightness. Now, the angels are at work, and when they have completed their task, I will place my hand upon it and preserve it. From it shall come forth the seed of life, ensuring that the earth will not remain without inhabitants. I will establish your seed before me forever and ever. I will spread abroad those who dwell with you. Your descendants shall not be unfruitful upon the earth, but they shall be blessed, and they will multiply in the name of the Lord." The Lord then spoke of the angels who had acted with unrighteousness. He said that these angels would be imprisoned in the burning valley that Enoch had shown Noah. This valley was located in the west, amidst mountains of gold, silver, iron, soft metals, and tin. Noah saw the valley in a state of great convulsion, as the waters within it churned violently. When this happened, a sulfuric smell arose from the fiery molten metal, mingling with the convulsing waters. The valley of the angels who had led humanity astray burned beneath the land. Streams of fire flowed through the valleys, punishing the fallen angels who had deceived those dwelling on earth. However, in those days, the waters would also serve the kings, the mighty, and the exalted ones on earth. These waters would bring healing to their bodies, but punishment to their spirits, for their spirits were full of lust. As a result, their bodies would be punished, and their spirits would suffer eternally. Despite their daily punishment, these kings and mighty ones denied the Lord of Spirits and refused to believe in his name. Even as the burning of their bodies intensified, a corresponding transformation would occur in their spirits, one that would last forever. Before the Lord of Spirits, no one shall utter an idle word. Judgment will come upon those who place their trust in the lusts of their bodies and deny the Spirit of the Lord. In those days, the waters themselves would undergo a transformation. When the angels were punished in these waters, the water springs would change their temperature. As the angels ascended, the waters of the springs would become cold. Noah heard Michael's voice, who said, "This judgment upon the angels is a testimony for the kings and the mighty who possess the earth. These waters of judgment serve to heal the bodies of the kings and indulge the lusts of their bodies. Yet they will not see nor believe that these waters will transform into a fire that burns forever. During those days, my grandfather Enoch shared with me the teachings of all the secrets contained in the Book of Parables. This book was a compilation of divine wisdom, and he entrusted these profound insights to me, encapsulated in its sacred words. On that fateful day, Michael spoke to Raphael, saying, "The power of the Spirit moves me and makes me tremble at the severity of the judgment of the secrets, the judgment upon the angels. Who among us can endure such a severe judgment? Before them, all will melt away." Michael continued, "Who among us is not moved by this word of judgment? Who does not feel their heart softened and their soul troubled by the decree upon those who have led others astray?" As he stood before the Lord of Spirits, Michael spoke to Raphael, saying, "I will not advocate for them under the Lord's gaze, for the Lord of Spirits is angered by their arrogance. They act as though they themselves are the Lord. Therefore, all that is hidden shall befall them eternally. Neither angel nor man shall share in their portion. Alone they have received their eternal judgment. Following this decree, these angels will strike fear into those dwelling on the earth, for they have revealed forbidden secrets. The names of these angels are as follows: the first, Samjaza; the second, Artakifa; the third, Arman; the fourth, Kokabel; the fifth, Turael; the sixth, Rumjal; the seventh, Kokabel; the eighth, Kokabel; the ninth, Kokabel; the 10th, Kokabel; the 11th, Kokabel; the 12th, Kokabel; the 13th, Kokabel; the 14th, Kokabel; the 15th, Kokabel; the 16th, Kokabel; the 17th, Kokabel; the 18th, Kokabel; the 19th, Kokabel; the 20th, Kokabel; the 21st, Kokabel; the 22nd, Kokabel; the 23rd, Kokabel; the 24th, Kokabel; the 25th, Kokabel; the 26th, Kokabel; the 27th, Kokabel; the 28th, Kokabel; the 29th, Kokabel; the 30th, Kokabel; the 31st, Kokabel; the 32nd, Kokabel; the 33rd, Kokabel; the 34th, Kokabel; the 35th, Kokabel; the 36th, Kokabel; the 37th, Kokabel; the 38th, Kokabel; the 39th, Kokabel; the 40th, Kokabel; the 41st, Kokabel; the 42nd, Kokabel; the 43rd, Kokabel; the 44th, Kokabel; the 45th, Kokabel; the 46th, Kokabel; the 47th, Kokabel; the 48th, Kokabel; the 49th, Kokabel; 7th, Danjal; the 8th, Nekael; the 9th, Barakel; the 10th, Azazel; the 11th, Armaros; the 12th, Batarjal; the 13th, Usasijal; the 14th, Hananel; the 15th, Turel; the 16th, Simapesiel; the 17th, Jetrel; the 18th, Tumael; the 19th, Turel; the 20th, Rumael; and the 21st, Azazel. These are the chiefs of their angels, leading hundreds, fifties, and tens. The first angel, Jekon, led the sons of God astray, bringing them to earth and seducing them through the daughters of men. The second angel, Asbeel, gave evil counsel to the holy sons of God, urging them to defile themselves with the daughters of men. The third, Gadriel, showed the children of men all the weapons of death, leading Eve astray and teaching humanity to forge shields, coats of mail, and swords. From his hand, these instruments of death have plagued humanity forever. The fourth, Penemu, revealed the secrets of wisdom and writing, teaching mankind to write with ink and paper, leading many into sin from eternity to eternity. Mankind was not created for such a purpose. They were meant to remain pure and righteous. but through this knowledge they perished, consumed by its power. The fifth angel, Casdeja, revealed the wickedness of spirits and demons, causing embryos in the womb to perish, and bringing serpent bites and other afflictions by the son of the serpent, Tabayet. Caspiel, the chief of the oath, showed this oath to the holy ones when he dwelt high above in glory. He requested Michael reveal the hidden name so that he could pronounce it in the oath, causing those who divulged secrets to mankind to quake in fear. This powerful oath, Akai, was entrusted to Michael. Through this oath, the heavens were suspended before the world was created and shall remain so for eternity. The earth was founded upon the waters, with beautiful waters flowing from the secret recesses of the mountains, from the creation of the world unto eternity. The sea was established with sand as its boundary, and it shall never pass beyond it, from creation to eternity. The depths remain unmoved, from eternity to eternity. The sun and moon complete their courses without deviation, and the stars answer to their names, maintaining their courses from eternity to eternity. This oath preserves their paths and ensures that their courses are not destroyed. There was great joy among them as they blessed, glorified, and extolled the name of the Son of Man. He sat on the throne of his glory, and judgment was entrusted to him. He caused sinners to pass away, destroying them from the face of the earth, along with those who led the world astray. Bound with chains, they were imprisoned in their place of destruction, and all their works vanished from the earth. From that moment, there shall be nothing corruptible. The Son of Man has appeared and seated himself on the throne of his glory. All evil shall vanish before him, and his word shall be powerful before the Lord of spirits. The book of the words of righteousness, a record of the reprimand to the eternal watchers, was given according to the command of the Holy Great One, in a vision that Enoch saw in his sleep. Enoch, with the breath of his mouth and the tongue of flesh, spoke the words bestowed upon him by the Great One, words given to men to converse and understand with the heart. As he has created and granted to man the power to understand the word of wisdom, so has he created me and given me the authority to reprimand the watchers, the children of heaven. Enoch began, I have written your petition, and in my vision it became clear to me that your plea will not be granted, neither now nor throughout all the days of eternity. Judgment has been passed upon you. Your request will not be fulfilled. From this moment onward, you shall never ascend into heaven. The decree has gone forth, binding you to the earth for all the days of this world. You shall witness the destruction of your beloved sons. You will find no joy in them. They will fall before you by the sword. Your petition on their behalf will not be granted. Neither will your own, despite your weeping, your prayers, or your pleading words. Those same words I have written down. In my vision, I was called by clouds, summoned by mist. The course of the stars and the flashes of lightning hastened me. The winds in my vision lifted me up and bore me into heaven. I approached a wall built of crystal, surrounded by tongues of fire. It was a terrifying sight. I entered the tongues of fire and drew near to a great house made entirely of crystal, with walls like a tessellated floor of crystal, its foundation also made of crystal. The ceiling above was like the path of the stars and lightning, and between them stood fiery cherubim. Their heaven was water, and flames surrounded the walls of the house. The portals blazed with fire. As I entered, the house felt as hot as fire and as cold as ice. There was no pleasure to be found inside. Fear overwhelmed me, and trembling seized my body. As I shook with fear, I fell upon my face. There, I beheld a vision of a second house, greater than the first, with an open portal before me, built entirely of flames of fire. This second house far surpassed the first in splendor and magnificence. Its floor was made of fire, and above it were lightnings and the path of the stars, with a ceiling of flaming fire. I saw, in the midst of this house, a lofty throne, its appearance like crystal. The wheels of the throne shone like the sun, and in the vision I saw cherubim. From beneath the throne came streams of flaming fire, so intense that I could not bear to look upon it. The great glory sat upon the throne, his raiment shining brighter than the sun, whiter than any snow. No angel could enter to behold his face because of the overwhelming magnificence and glory. No flesh could endure his presence. A fiery flame encircled him, and a great fire stood before him. 10,000 times 10,000 surrounded him, yet he required no counsel. The most holy ones, those nearest to him, remained with him day and night, never departing. As I lay prostrate, trembling before him, the Lord himself called to me, speaking with his own mouth, "Come here, Enoch, and hear my word." One of the holy ones approached me, waking me from my trance, and helped me to rise. He guided me to the door. I bowed my face to the ground and heard the voice of the Lord. "Fear not, Enoch, righteous man and scribe of righteousness. Approach and listen to my voice. Go and tell the watchers of heaven who sent you to intercede on their behalf. You should be interceding for men, not men for you. Why have you left the high, holy, and eternal heaven to lie with women? Why have you defiled yourselves with the daughters of men? Have you defiled yourselves with the daughters of men, taken wives, and begotten giants as your sons? Though you were once holy, spiritual beings, living the eternal life, you have defiled yourselves with the blood of women. You have begotten children through the flesh and blood of mortal beings. As children of men, you have lusted after flesh and blood, like those who die and perish. Therefore, I have given them wives, so they might conceive and bear children, ensuring nothing is lacking for them on earth. But you were once spiritual, living the eternal life, and immortal for all generations of the world. Because of this, I have not appointed wives for you, for those who are spiritual dwell in heaven. Now, the giants, born of both spirits and flesh, shall be called evil spirits upon the earth, and their dwelling place shall be on the earth. These evil spirits have proceeded from their bodies. Born from both men and the watchers, they will be evil spirits on earth. Their spirits will afflict, oppress, destroy, attack, and battle against mankind. They will wreak havoc, causing trouble and strife. Though they take no food, they will hunger and thirst, bringing offenses with them. These spirits will rise up against the children of men and against women, for they have come from them. From the days of the slaughter, destruction, and death of the giants, their spirits will continue to destroy, without facing judgment, until the day of final reckoning, the great judgment when the age shall be consummated. The judgment will be for the watchers and the godless, and it shall be completely fulfilled. As for the watchers who sent you to intercede on their behalf, who were once in heaven, tell them this: you have been in heaven, yet not all the mysteries were revealed to you. You knew the worthless ones, and in the hardness of your hearts, you made these secrets known to the women, causing much evil on earth. Therefore, you shall have no peace. Enoch recounted the incredible journey the angels had taken him on. They transported him to a realm where those present resembled flaming fire. yet could appear as men at will. The angels led him to a place of profound darkness, to a mountain whose summit reached the heavens. In this mystical place, Enoch saw the locations of the luminaries, the treasuries of stars and thunder. In the deepest depths, he saw a fiery bow and arrows, a quiver, a fiery sword, and all the lightnings. They brought him to the living waters and the fire of the west, which receives the setting sun each day. Enoch saw a river of fire, its flames flowing like water, discharging into the great sea toward the west. Enoch ventured into the vast darkness, a place where no flesh could walk. He saw the mountains shrouded in the eternal darkness of winter, and he witnessed the source from which all the deep waters flow. He observed the mouths of all the rivers on earth, and the mouth of the deep. Enoch saw the treasuries of all the winds, and how the Creator had furnished the whole creation with them, grounding the firm foundations of the earth. He observed the cornerstone of the earth, and the four winds that support the firmament of heaven. He saw how these winds stretched out the vaults of heaven, their stations positioned between heaven and earth, acting as the pillars of heaven. Enoch watched as the winds of heaven turned, bringing the sun and stars to their proper places in the sky. He saw the winds on earth carrying the clouds and the paths that the angels tread. At the ends of the earth, Enoch saw the firmament of heaven above him. He proceeded to a place that burned day and night, where 7 mountains of magnificent stones stood. 3 of these mountains were to the east, and 3 towards the south. Among those in the east, 1 was made of colored stone, 1 of pearl, and 1 of jacinth. The 3 in the south were made of red stone. In the middle, a towering mountain reached into the heavens, resembling the throne of God. The scene Enoch witnessed was filled with awe and fear. He saw a place made of alabaster, with a sapphire summit. Beyond these towering mountains, he glimpsed a flaming fire stretching out into a vast, desolate region, the very end of the great earth. It was a place where the heavens were complete, yet beyond it lay a deep abyss filled with columns of heavenly fire. These columns of fire stretched beyond measure, both in height and depth. Beyond the abyss, there was a place without a firmament of heaven above, or a solid foundation of earth below. It was a desolate wasteland, devoid of water or birds, a place of complete horror and emptiness. In this desolate region, Enoch saw 7 stars, burning like great mountains. Curious, Enoch inquired about these stars. The angel answered him, saying, "This is the end of heaven and earth, a prison for the stars and the host of heaven. These stars, which roll over the fire, are those that transgressed the commandment of the Lord at the beginning of their rising, because they did not appear at their appointed times. In his wrath, he bound them, and they will remain here until their guilt is fully completed, for 10,000 years. The angel, Uriel, continued to explain, "Here also shall stand the fallen angels, those who connected themselves with women. Their spirits took many forms to defile mankind, leading humanity astray and causing them to sacrifice to demons as if they were gods. These angels shall remain here until the day of great judgment, where they will be judged and meet their end." The women who had gone astray with these angels would become sirens, their voices now turned into seductive calls. Enoch was the only one who saw this terrifying vision, the end of all things, a sight no other man has witnessed. Alone, he continued his journey with the holy angels, who began to reveal to him the mysteries of the universe. As he journeyed, Enoch was introduced to the celestial guardians, the angels who watch over mankind. "These are the names of the holy angels," Enoch began. "Uriel, who presides over the world and Tartarus; Raphael, who oversees the spirits of men; Raguel, who exacts vengeance on the world of the luminaries; Michael, who is set over the best part of mankind and over chaos; Sarachiel, who is set over the spirits who sin in the spirit; Gabriel, who guards paradise, the serpents, and the cherubim; and Remiel, who is appointed over those who rise. Enoch was then taken to a place of chaos, devoid of a heaven above or a firm foundation below. It was a realm of disorder and horror, where he saw the 7 stars of heaven bound together, burning like great mountains. Enoch asked, "For what sin are they bound, and why have they been cast into this terrible place?" Uriel, one of the chief angels, responded, "Enoch, why do you seek the truth with such eagerness? These are the stars of heaven that transgressed the commandment of the Lord. They are bound here until the appointed time of their judgment is fulfilled, 10,000 years." From there, Enoch was led to an even more terrifying place. He saw a great fire burning and blazing, its flames descending like columns into an abyss. The magnitude of the fire and its depth were beyond measure. Enoch exclaimed in awe, "How fearful is this place, and how terrible to behold!" Uriel reassured him, saying, "This is the prison of the fallen angels, and here they will remain imprisoned forever." Enoch then proceeded to another place, a mountain made of hard rock. Inside the mountain were 4 deep, hollow, smooth places. Raphael explained, "These hollow places have been created for the souls of the dead, to gather them until the day of their judgment. All the souls of the children of men assemble here. These places receive them until their appointed period, the great judgment." Enoch then saw the spirit of a dead man, making a suit to heaven. His voice ascended, and Enoch asked Raphael, "Whose spirit is this, making suit to heaven?" Raphael answered, "This is the spirit of Abel, whom his brother Cain slew. He makes his suit against Cain, asking for justice, until his seed is destroyed from the earth." Enoch inquired further about the separation of the hollow places. Raphael explained, "These divisions are for the spirits of the dead, one for the righteous, with a bright spring of water, one for sinners who die without judgment in their lifetime, where their spirits are in great pain until the day of judgment, and one for those who make their suit, disclosing their destruction when slain in the days of sinners. Another is for the spirits of those who were not righteous, but were sinners and transgressors. Their spirits shall not be slain on the day of judgment, nor shall they be raised from there." Enoch blessed the Lord of glory, saying, "Blessed be my Lord, the Lord of righteousness, who rules forever." Finally, Enoch journeyed westward to the ends of the earth, where he saw a fire running without rest, burning day and night. Enoch asked, "What is this fire that never rests?" Raguel, one of the holy angels, explained, "This is the fire in the west that never ceases, a sign of eternal judgment and purification." Enoch continued his journey and came upon a vast fiery mountain range that burned day and night. Beyond this range, he saw 7 magnificent mountains, each unique in its beauty, adorned with glorious stones. The 7th mountain, towering above the others, was the highest. It resembled a throne and was encircled by fragrant trees. Among these trees stood one like no other, a tree with a fragrance surpassing all. Its leaves, blooms, and wood never withered, and its fruit was beautiful, resembling the dates of a palm. Enoch marveled, "How beautiful is this tree! Its fragrance and delightful appearance are beyond words." Michael, one of the honored angels, responded, "This high mountain, whose summit is like the throne of God, is where the Holy Great One, the Lord of Glory, the Eternal King, will sit when he descends to visit the earth in his goodness. As for this fragrant tree, no mortal shall touch it until the great judgment. Then it shall be given to the righteous and holy. Its fruit will be food for the elect, and it will be transplanted to the holy place, to the temple of the Lord, the Eternal King. Michael continued, "The righteous shall rejoice with joy and be glad as they enter the holy place. Its fragrance will permeate their bones, and they will live long lives on earth, free from sorrow, plague, torment, or calamity." Enoch blessed the God of glory, the Eternal King, who had prepared such things for the righteous and had promised them. He then journeyed to the middle of the earth, where he discovered a blessed place with blooming trees. He saw a holy mountain with a stream flowing southward. Another higher mountain stood to the east, with a deep, narrow ravine separating the two. Enoch marveled at the sight. Uriel, one of the angels, explained, "This accursed valley is reserved for those who are accursed forever. Here, all who utter unseemly words against the Lord and his glory will be gathered for judgment. The righteous, however, will bless the Lord of glory, the Eternal King, for the mercy he has shown them." Enoch continued to bless the Lord of glory, proclaiming his greatness. He then journeyed into a wilderness in the east, full of aromatic trees exhaling the fragrance of frankincense and myrrh. These trees resembled almond trees. Beyond them, he came across a valley of water with fragrant trees, such as mastic and cinnamon, growing along its sides. He ventured further east. As he traveled, Enoch encountered more mountains with groves of trees, flowing with nectar named Sarara and Galbanum. Another mountain, situated at the easternmost point of the earth, was filled with aloe trees that exuded stacte, a fragrance sweeter than any other when burnt. He also saw 7 mountains to the north, full of choice nard, cinnamon, and pepper. Passing over the summits, Enoch reached the Garden of Righteousness. It was filled with numerous beautiful and glorious trees, including the tree of knowledge. Its fruit bestowed great wisdom. Raphael, another angel, explained, "This is the tree of wisdom, from which your forebears learned." It opened their eyes, and they realized they were naked, leading to their expulsion from the garden. Enoch continued his journey to the ends of the earth, where great beasts and birds of various appearances and voices dwell. He observed the portals of heaven, noting their number, positions, times, and months, as revealed to him by Uriel. Enoch traveled further north and saw a great and glorious device at the ends of the earth, with 3 open portals of heaven. Through these portals, the north winds brought cold, hail, frost, snow, dew, and rain. He observed similar portals in the west and south, each serving its own purpose. Returning to the east, Enoch saw 3 eastern portals of heaven, with small portals above them, through which the stars passed in their course. Enoch blessed the Lord of glory for the great and glorious wonders he had shown him, praising his work and creation forever. Enoch spoke words of blessing to the elect and righteous, those who would endure the days of tribulation when the wicked and godless would be removed. I saw a vision of the Holy One in the heavens, revealed to me by the angels. From them, I heard everything and gained understanding, not for this generation, but for a future one yet to come, Enoch proclaimed. He then spoke more words of blessing to the elect and the righteous, those who would survive the tribulation when the wicked and godless would be cast away. I have seen a vision of the Holy One in the heavens, Enoch said, revealed to me by the angels. From them I have learned all things and gained understanding, not for this generation, but for one that is yet to come. Speaking with authority, Enoch continued his parable concerning the elect. The Holy Great One will come forth from his dwelling. The eternal God will tread upon the earth, even upon Mount Sinai, and appear in the strength of his might from the heaven of heavens. Fear will seize all, and the earth will tremble before him. Watchers shall tremble. Terror and trembling will grip the earth to its farthest ends. The high mountains will shake, and the lofty hills will be brought low. They will melt like wax before a flame. The earth shall be split asunder, and all upon it shall perish. Judgment will come upon all. Yet, with the righteous, God will establish peace. He will protect the elect, showing them mercy. They will belong to God, prosper, and be blessed. Light will shine upon them, and he will make peace with them. Behold, he comes with 10,000 of his holy ones to execute judgment upon all, to destroy the ungodly, and to convict all flesh of their ungodly deeds. He will judge the harsh words spoken against him by sinners. Enoch urged his listeners to reflect upon the immutable wonders of creation. Look to the heavens, he said, and observe the unwavering paths of the celestial bodies. The luminaries rise and set at their appointed times, never deviating from their ordained courses. Marvel at the steadfastness of the earth, which, from the beginning to the end, remains unchanging. It is a testament to the works of God. Observe how the earth is nourished by water. The clouds, dew, and rain sustain it through summer and winter, each fulfilling its purpose as ordained by the Creator. In winter, most trees shed their leaves and appear barren. Yet, there are 14 trees that retain their foliage for 2 to 3 years, until new leaves replace the old. Likewise, in the days of summer, notice how the sun stands high above the earth, compelling you to seek shade and shelter from its intense heat. The earth and rocks scorch beneath its rays. See how the trees adorn themselves with green leaves and produce fruit in their season. Consider these wonders and recognize that he who lives forever has ordained them. Year after year, his creations continue their tasks without change, fulfilling the roles assigned to them by the Eternal One. Observe how the seas and rivers obey his commands, never straying from the purposes he has set for them. Yet, you have not remained steadfast. You have not honored the commandments of the Lord. Instead, you have turned away, speaking arrogant and impure words against his greatness. O hard-hearted ones, there will be no peace for you. For this reason, you shall curse your days, and the years of your life shall perish. The time of your destruction will extend into eternal abomination, and no mercy shall be granted to you. In those days, your names will become an eternal curse among the righteous. All who curse will invoke your name as a warning. Sinners and the godless will use your names as a byword for condemnation. Upon the godless there will be an everlasting curse, but the righteous shall rejoice. They will receive forgiveness of sins, along with mercy, peace, and long-suffering. Salvation shall come to them, and they shall dwell in a goodly light. For the sinners, however, there will be no salvation. The curse of the beast shall rest upon them. For the elect, there shall be light, joy, and peace. They will inherit the earth. Wisdom will be given to the elect, and they will live without sin, free from both ungodliness and pride. The wise shall be humble, and they will not transgress or sin all the days of their lives. They shall not die in anger or wrath, but will complete their appointed days in peace. Their lives will be prolonged in serenity, and the years of their joy will multiply into eternal gladness and peace all the days of their existence. Enoch, the son of Jared, the son of Mahalaleel, the son of Canaan, the son of Enos, the son of Seth, the son of Adam, received a second vision, a vision of profound wisdom. With a voice imbued with purpose, he prepared to share the divine revelations bestowed upon him. Listen, men of ancient times, and all who will come after, to the words of the Holy One that I speak before the Lord of Spirits. This wisdom would have been best declared to those of old, yet it shall not be withheld from those who come after. The beginning of wisdom will be revealed to all. Enoch emphasized the extraordinary nature of the wisdom granted to him, a gift unmatched in its depth and significance. Until this day, this wisdom has been revealed. It is not simply knowledge, but a divine understanding bestowed by the Creator. Those who heed this wisdom shall be counted among the righteous, and they will walk in the light of His truth. Such wisdom has never been imparted by the Lord of Spirits, as has been given to me. It was bestowed upon me through His insight and good pleasure. Through Him, the lot of eternal life has been granted to me. 3 parables were entrusted to me, and I lifted my voice to recount them to those who dwell upon the earth. When the congregation of the righteous shall appear, and sinners are judged for their sins, they will be driven from the face of the earth. When the righteous one appears before the eyes of the righteous, whose elect works depend on the Lord of Spirits, light will shine upon the righteous and the elect who dwell on the earth. Where then will be the dwelling of the sinners, and where the resting place of those who have denied the Lord of Spirits? It would have been better for them if they had not been born. When the secrets of the righteous are revealed and sinners are judged, the godless will be driven from the presence of the righteous and elect. From that time, those who possess the earth will no longer be powerful and exalted. They will not be able to behold the face of the holy, for the Lord of Spirits has caused His light to appear on the face of the holy, righteous, and elect. Then shall the kings and the mighty perish, given into the hands of the righteous and holy. From that moment on, none shall seek mercy from the Lord of Spirits, for their life is at an end. Enoch described a time when the elect and holy children would descend from the high heavens, and their seed would become one with the children of men. In those days, Enoch received books of zeal and wrath, books of disquiet and expulsion. Mercy shall not be accorded to them, declared the Lord of Spirits. A whirlwind carried me off from the earth and set me down at the end of the heavens. There, I saw another vision. The dwelling places of the holy and the resting places of the righteous. My eyes beheld their dwellings with His righteous angels and their resting places with the holy. They petitioned, interceded, and prayed for the children of men, and righteousness flowed before them like water, and mercy like dew upon the earth. Thus it is among them forever and ever. Enoch saw the elect one of righteousness and faith, dwelling under the wings of the Lord of Spirits. Righteousness shall prevail in his days, and the righteous and elect shall be without number before him, forever and ever. The righteous and elect before him shall be as strong as fiery lights, their mouths full of blessings, and their lips extolling the name of the Lord of Spirits. Righteousness before him shall never fail. In this heavenly realm, Enoch longed to dwell. My spirit yearned for that dwelling place, for it has been established concerning me before the Lord of Spirits. In those days, I praised and extolled the name of the Lord of Spirits with blessings and praises, because He has destined me for blessing and glory, according to his good pleasure. Enoch's eyes regarded that place for a long time, and he blessed the Lord, saying, "Blessed is he, and may he be blessed from the beginning and forevermore. Before him there is no ceasing. He knows before the world was created what is forever, and what will be from generation to generation. Those who do not sleep bless him, standing before his glory, saying, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of spirits. He fills the earth with spirits." Enoch's face changed, for he could no longer behold the sight. Enoch then saw thousands of thousands, and 10,000 times 10,000, a multitude beyond number, standing before the Lord of spirits. Around the Lord of spirits, Enoch saw 4 presences, different from those who do not sleep, and he learned their names from the angel who was with him. The voices of these 4 presences praised the Lord of glory. The first voice blessed the Lord of spirits forever and ever. The second voice blessed the elect one and the elect ones who depend on the Lord of spirits. The third voice prayed and interceded for those who dwell on the earth, supplicating in the name of the Lord of spirits. The fourth voice fended off the Satans, forbidding them to come before the Lord of spirits to accuse those who dwell on the earth. Enoch asked the angel of peace, who was with him, "Who are these 4 presences whose words I have heard and written down?" The angel replied, "The first is Michael, the merciful and long-suffering. The second, who is set over all the diseases and wounds of the children of men, is Raphael. The third, who is set over all the powers, is Gabriel. The fourth, who is set over the repentance unto hope of those who inherit eternal life, is named Phanuel. These are the 4 angels of the Lord of spirits, and the 4 voices you heard." Enoch saw all the secrets of the heavens, how the kingdom is divided, and how the actions of men are weighed in the balance. He saw the mansions of the elect and the holy, and his eyes saw the sinners being driven from there, unable to abide because of the punishment from the Lord of spirits. He observed the secrets of lightning, thunder, winds, clouds, and dew, noting their origins and how they saturate the earth. Enoch saw the chambers of the sun and moon, their glorious return, and their stately orbit. He learned that they keep faith with each other, according to the oath by which they are bound. The sun traverses his path according to the commandment of the Lord of spirits. Mighty is his name forever and ever. The hidden and visible path of the moon follows her course by day and night, opposite the sun, before the Lord of spirits. They give thanks and praise without rest, for their thanksgiving is their rest. Enoch observed the sun changing for a blessing or a curse, and the moon's path bringing light to the righteous and darkness to the sinners. The Lord separated light from darkness and strengthened the spirits of the righteous in his name. Wisdom found no place to dwell among the children of men, and returned to her seat among the angels. Unrighteousness went forth, finding and dwelling with those she sought not, like rain in a desert and dew on a thirsty land. Enoch saw other lightnings and stars, called by their names, hearkening unto the Lord. They are weighed in a righteous balance according to their proportions of light, the width of their spaces, and the day of their appearing. Enoch asked the angel, "What are these?" The angel replied, "The Lord of spirits has shown you their parabolic meaning. These are the names of the holy who dwell on the earth and believe in the name of the Lord of spirits forever and ever." Enoch saw another phenomenon, how some stars arise and become lightnings, unable to part with their new form. Enoch began recounting the second parable, focusing on those who deny the name of the holy ones and the Lord of spirits. He spoke with a solemn tone, revealing the fate awaiting the sinners. Those who deny the name of the Lord of spirits and the dwelling of the holy ones shall not ascend to heaven, nor remain on earth. Such is the lot reserved for the sinners, preserved for the day of suffering and tribulation. On that day, mine elect one shall sit on the throne of glory and judge their works. Their places of rest shall be innumerable, and their souls shall grow strong when they see mine elect one, and those who have called upon my glorious name. Then I will cause mine elect one to dwell among them. I will transform the heaven into an eternal blessing and light, and I will transform the earth into a blessing, causing mine elect ones to dwell upon it. But the sinners and evildoers shall not set foot thereon. For I have provided and satisfied my righteous ones with peace, and caused them to dwell before me. For the sinners there is impending judgment with me, so that I shall destroy them from the face of the earth. Enoch then described a vision of a majestic figure. I saw one who had a head of days, and his head was white like wool. With him was another being, whose countenance had the appearance of a man, and his face was full of graciousness. Like one of the holy angels, Enoch was filled with curiosity. He asked the angel accompanying him, "Who is this Son of Man, and why is he with the head of days?" The angel answered, "This is the Son of Man, who possesses righteousness. In him righteousness dwells, and he reveals all the hidden treasures. The Lord of spirits has chosen him, and his position before the Lord of spirits is supreme. His righteousness will endure forever." The angel continued, "This Son of Man will humble the mighty, casting down kings and rulers from their thrones. He will loosen the reins of the strong and shatter the teeth of the sinners. These are those who do not honor or praise him. They do not humbly acknowledge the source of their power and kingdom." Enoch learned that this Son of Man would bring shame upon the powerful. Their dwelling will be darkness, and their bed will be filled with worms. They will have no hope of rising from their beds, because they failed to extol the name of the Lord of spirits. The angel went on to describe these sinners. "These are they who judge the stars of heaven, who tread upon the earth, and who dwell upon it. Their deeds are unrighteous, and their power rests upon their riches. They place their faith in gods they have made with their own hands, denying the name of the Lord of spirits. They persecute his faithful and the houses of his congregations. In those days, the prayers and the blood of the righteous would ascend from the earth before the Lord of spirits. The holy ones in heaven would unite their voices in supplication, praying, praising, giving thanks, and blessing the name of the Lord of spirits on behalf of the righteous. Their prayers would not go unanswered. The Lord would ensure that judgment was carried out, and the righteous would not suffer forever. Enoch witnessed the head of days seated on the throne of his glory, with the books of the living opened before him. His heavenly host and counselors stood by, filling the hearts of the righteous with joy. The number of the righteous had been counted, their prayers heard, and the blood of the righteous demanded before the Lord of spirits. In that place, Enoch saw the inexhaustible fountain of righteousness, surrounded by many fountains of wisdom. The thirsty came, drank, and were filled with wisdom, dwelling with the righteous, the holy, and the elect. At that hour, the Son of Man was named in the presence of the Lord of spirits, and his name was declared before the head of days. Before the sun and stars were created, before the heavenly signs were made, his name was already known by the Lord of spirits. The angel continued, "He shall be a staff for the righteous, a light for the Gentiles, and the hope of those troubled in heart, All who dwell on earth shall fall down before him, praising and blessing the Lord of spirits. The wisdom of the Lord of spirits revealed the Son of Man to the holy and righteous. These righteous ones hated and despised the world of unrighteousness and its works. In his name they are saved, and according to his good pleasure, their lives are preserved. Enoch saw the kings and the mighty ones, their faces downcast because of their deeds. On the day of their anguish, they will not be able to save themselves. I will deliver them into the hands of mine elect. As straw in the fire, they will burn, and as lead in water, they will sink, leaving no trace. On the day of their affliction, there shall be rest on the earth. The sinners who denied the Lord of spirits and his anointed one will be silenced. The name of the Lord of spirits be blessed forever. Wisdom will flow like water, and glory will never fade before him. He is mighty in all the secrets of righteousness, and unrighteousness will vanish like a shadow. The elect one stands before the Lord of spirits, his glory everlasting, his might extending to all generations. In him dwells the spirit of wisdom, insight, understanding, and power. He also holds the spirit of those who have fallen asleep in righteousness. He shall judge the hidden things, and no lie will be spoken before him. He is the elect one, chosen according to the good pleasure of the Lord of spirits. In those days, a great change will take place for the holy and elect. The light of days will shine upon them, and glory and honor will be given to the righteous on the day of affliction, when evil is stored up for the sinners. The righteous will be victorious in the name of the Lord of spirits. The others will witness their victory, repent of their evil deeds, and abandon their sinful works. In the name of the Lord of spirits, yet through his name, they shall be saved, and he will have compassion on them, for his compassion is great. He is righteous in his judgment. In his presence, unrighteousness shall not stand. The unrepentant shall perish before him, and henceforth I will have no mercy on them, says the Lord of spirits. In those days, the earth shall give back what it has received. Sheol and hell shall return their own. For in those days, the elect one shall arise and choose the righteous and holy. The day of salvation draws near. The elect one shall sit on my throne, pouring forth the secrets of wisdom and counsel, glorified by the Lord of spirits. In those days, the mountains shall leap like rams, the hills shall skip like lambs satisfied with milk, and the faces of the angels in heaven shall be lit with joy. The earth shall rejoice, the righteous shall dwell upon it, and the elect shall walk thereon. After these visions, Enoch was carried off in a whirlwind towards the west. He saw the secret things of heaven, a mountain of iron, copper, silver, gold, soft metal, and lead. Enoch asked the angel, "What are these things?" The angel replied, "All these shall serve the dominion of his anointed, that he may be potent and mighty on the earth." The angel of peace further explained, "Wait a little, and all the secret things surrounding the Lord of spirits shall be revealed to you. These mountains of iron, copper, silver, gold, soft metal, and lead shall be as wax before the fire and like water streaming down. They shall become powerless before his feet. In those days, none shall be saved by gold or silver, nor escape by their wealth. Iron shall be useless for war, and no one shall clothe themselves with a breastplate. Bronze, tin, and lead shall not be desired, and all these things shall be destroyed from the surface of the earth." Enoch looked and turned to another part of the earth, seeing a deep valley with burning fire. The kings and the mighty were cast into this valley, bound with iron chains of immeasurable weight. Enoch asked the angel, "For whom are these chains prepared?" The angel replied, "These are for the hosts of Azazel, to be cast into the abyss of complete condemnation, their jaws covered with rough stones, as commanded by the Lord of Spirits. Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Phanuel shall take hold of them on that great day, casting them into the burning furnace. The Lord of Spirits shall take vengeance on them for their unrighteousness, becoming subject to Satan and leading astray those who dwell on the earth. In those days, punishment shall come from the Lord of Spirits. He will open all the chambers of waters above the heavens and beneath the earth. The waters shall join, destroying all who dwell on the earth and under the heavens. They shall recognize their unrighteousness and perish." After this, the head of days repented, saying, "In vain have I destroyed all who dwell on the earth." He swore by his great name, "Henceforth I will not do so to all who dwell on the earth, and I will set a sign in the heaven as a pledge of good faith between me and them forever, as long as heaven is above the earth. When I desire to take hold of them by the hand of the angels on the day of tribulation and pain, my chastisement and wrath shall abide upon them, says God, the Lord of Spirits. Mighty kings of the earth, you shall behold mine elect one, sitting on the throne of glory, judging Azazel, his associates, and all his hosts in the name of the Lord of Spirits. Enoch saw the hosts of the angels of punishment, holding scourges and chains of iron and bronze. He asked the angel of peace, "To whom are these scourges for?" The angel replied, "They are for the elect and beloved ones, to be cast into the chasm of the abyss of the valley. The valley shall be filled with their elect and beloved, their days at an end, and their leading astray shall not be counted. In those days the angels shall return, hurling themselves upon the Parthians and Medes. They shall stir up the kings, bringing unrest. They shall break forth as lions and wolves. The lightning. The spirit of the sea is masculine and powerful, retreating and dispersing according to the strength of its might. The spirits of hoarfrost, hail, snow, mist, and dew each have their own chambers and angels. Earth. Angels open the chambers and lead it out, spreading it across the earth. The angel of peace spoke to Enoch about the two great monsters, prepared according to the greatness of God. They shall be nourished according to God's will, the angel said. Enoch then saw angels with long cords, taking wings and flying north. Curious, he asked, "Why have these angels taken the cords and gone off?" The angel replied, "They have gone to measure." The angel accompanying Enoch explained, "These angels are bringing the measures of the righteous and the ropes of the righteous to the righteous. They will rest upon the name of the Lord of Spirits forever. The elect will dwell together, and these measures will reveal all the secrets of the deep earth. Those who have been lost in the desert, devoured by beasts, and swallowed by the fish of the sea. They shall return and remain on the day of the elect one. None shall perish before the Lord of Spirits, for none can be destroyed." Enoch saw the heavenly hosts receiving commands, power, one voice, and one light like fire. With their first words, they blessed, extolled, and praised with wisdom. The Lord of Spirits placed the elect one on the throne of glory. He will judge all the works of the holy above in heaven, and their deeds shall be weighed in the balance. The Lord commanded the kings, the mighty, the exalted, and all those who dwell on the earth, "Open your eyes and lift your heads, if you can recognize the elect one." The Lord of Spirits seated him on the throne of his glory, and the Spirit of righteousness was poured upon him. The words from his mouth shall slay all sinners, and the unrighteous will be destroyed from before his face. On that day, all the kings, the mighty, the exalted, and those who hold dominion over the earth shall see and recognize him. They will behold how he sits on the throne of his glory. Righteousness will be judged before him, and no falsehood will be spoken in his presence. Pain will seize them, like a woman in labor. They will look at one another, terrified and downcast, seized by agony, when they see the Son of Man sitting on the throne of his glory. The kings and the mighty will bless, glorify, and extol him who rules over all, who was hidden. From the beginning, the Son of Man was concealed, preserved by the Most High, and revealed to the elect. The congregation of the elect and the holy will be gathered, and all the elect shall stand before him on that day. The kings, mighty, exalted, and rulers will fall on their faces, worshiping and placing their hope upon the Son of Man, petitioning for mercy from his hands. But the Lord of spirits will press them to hastily leave his presence, their faces full of shame and darkness deepening around them. He will deliver them into the hands of the angels for judgment, to execute vengeance upon those who have oppressed his children and his elect. They will become a spectacle for the righteous and the elect, who will rejoice over them as the wrath of the Lord of spirits rests upon them, and his sword is soaked in their blood. The righteous and the elect will be saved on that day, never to see the face of sinners and the unrighteous again. The Lord of spirits will remain over them, and together with the Son of Man, they shall eat, rest, and rise up forever. The righteous and the elect will rise from the earth, no longer in sorrow, clothed with garments of glory, garments of life from the Lord of spirits. Your garments shall not wear out, nor shall your glory fade before the Lord of spirits. From hence has proceeded peace since the creation of the world, and so shall it be unto thee forever and ever. All shall walk in his ways, for righteousness never forsaketh him. With him will be their dwelling places, and with him their heritage. They shall not be separated from him forever and ever. The head of days concluded, there shall be length of days with that Son of Man, and the righteous shall have peace, and an upright way, in the name of the Lord of spirits, forever and ever. Enoch continued to recount the divine knowledge imparted to him, revealing the secrets of the luminaries and their celestial courses. Guided by Uriel, the holy angel, Enoch was shown the intricate workings of the heavens. Uriel revealed to Enoch the detailed laws governing the celestial bodies. He showed how each luminary follows its appointed course according to their classes, dominions, and seasons. These laws would persist until the new creation, which will endure for eternity. The first law of the luminaries, Uriel explained, is that the sun rises in the eastern portals of the heaven and sets in the western portals. There are 6 portals in the east and 6 in the west, through which the sun and moon rise and set, along with the stars and their leaders, who follow each other in precise order. Many windows flank these portals on the right and left. The great luminary, named the sun, emerges first. Its circumference is like the expanse of the heavens, filled with illuminating and heating fire. The wind drives the chariot on which the sun ascends. The sun descends from the heavens and returns through the north to reach the east, guided to the appropriate portal, where it shines upon the heavens. In the first month, the sun rises in the great portal, the 4th portal. This portal has 12 window openings, from which flames burst forth in their season. For 30 mornings, the sun rises through this 4th portal, and sets in the fourth portal in the west. During this period, the day lengthens while the night shortens until the 30th morning, when the day is longer than the night by a 9th part. The sun then rises from the fourth portal and sets in the fourth, before moving to the fifth portal in the east. There it rises for 30 mornings and sets in the fifth portal. The day continues to lengthen, becoming 11 parts, while the night shortens to 7 parts. The sun rises and sets in the sixth portal for 31 mornings, doubling the length of the day compared to the night. The day becomes 12 parts, and the night 6 parts. The sun then begins to shorten the day and lengthen the night, returning to the sixth portal for 30 mornings. After 30 mornings, the day decreases to 11 parts, and the night increases to 7. The sun moves to the fifth portal in the east for 30 mornings, then sets in the fifth portal in the west. This pattern continues, with the day decreasing by 2 parts and becoming 10 parts, while the night becomes 8 parts. The sun rises from the fifth portal, then returns to the fourth portal, maintaining equal day and night for 31 mornings. It continues this cycle through the third and second portals, each time altering the balance of day and night until the year completes its cycle of 364 days. Uriel also showed me the laws of the moon. The moon's circumference mirrors the heavens, and it travels in a chariot driven by the wind. The moon's phases change each month, and its light varies, becoming full on the 15th day and waning thereafter. It follows a complex pattern, rising and setting through the same portals as the sun, but in a different rhythm. The moon rises with a 14th part of its light, growing until the 15th day when it is fully illuminated. It then begins to wane, reducing its light in a precise sequence. This pattern repeats, with the moon completing its cycle in alignment with the sun, ensuring that the years are accurately measured. Uriel showed me the positions and movements of all the luminaries, including the sun, moon, and stars. Each luminary follows a prescribed path, fulfilling the commands of the Lord of Glory, who set them to rule the heavens and the earth. The angel Uriel revealed 12 portals in the circumference of the sun's chariot, from which rays of the sun break forth, spreading warmth across the earth. He also showed me the portals from which the winds and dew emerge, the intricate system that governs the cycles of day and night, and the seasons. In total, there are 12 portals for the sun, moon, and stars, each contributing to the order of the cosmos. Through these portals, the celestial bodies maintain their courses as commanded by the Creator. Uriel explained the interactions between these bodies, ensuring that the balance of light and darkness, warmth and cold, prosperity and desolation is maintained. Finally, Uriel revealed the complex interplay of the heavens, illustrating how all things work together under the will of the Almighty to sustain the order of creation. The winds blow from 12 portals at the edges of the earth. These winds bring with them various conditions, ranging from blessings and prosperity to desolation and destruction. The east wind brings drought and heat, while the middle portal of the east brings rain and fruitfulness. The north winds bring cold and snow, while the west winds bring a mixture of conditions. Enoch, reflecting on these observations, concluded, "Thus, the laws of the heavens were revealed to me, showing how each celestial body and force of nature follows its appointed course, ensuring the harmony and balance of creation." In those days, the angel Uriel spoke to Enoch, saying, "Behold, I have shown you everything, Enoch. I have revealed to you the mysteries of the sun and moon, the leaders of the stars in the heavens, and all those who govern their tasks, times, and movements. Uriel continued, In the days of the sinners, the years shall be shortened, and their crops shall grow slowly on their lands and fields. All things on the earth shall change, and will not appear in their appointed times. The rain shall be withheld, and the heavens shall withhold their bounty. In those times, the fruits of the earth shall be delayed, and they will not grow in their proper season. The fruits of the trees will also be withheld. The moon will alter her order, and will not appear at her appointed times. The sun will be seen journeying in the evening, on the extremity of the great chariot in the west, shining more brightly than usual. Many chiefs of the stars shall transgress their ordained order, altering their orbits and tasks. They will not appear at their prescribed seasons. The entire order of the stars shall be concealed from sinners, causing confusion among those on the earth. They shall err in their understanding and take the stars to be gods. Evil shall multiply upon them, and punishment shall come upon them to destroy all. Then Uriel said to Enoch, Observe these heavenly tablets and read what is written upon them, and mark every individual fact. Enoch looked at the heavenly tablets, reading and understanding everything that was written. He read the book of all the deeds of mankind, and of all the children of flesh, who shall be upon the earth, even to the remotest generations. At once, Enoch blessed the great Lord, the King of glory, forever, for creating all the works of the world. He extolled the Lord for his patience, and blessed him because of the children of men. Afterward, Enoch said, Blessed is the man who dies in righteousness and goodness, concerning whom there is no book of unrighteousness written, and against whom no day of judgment shall be found. The 7 holy ones then brought Enoch and placed him on the earth, before the door of his house. They said to him, Declare everything to your son Methuselah, and show all your children that no flesh is righteous in the sight of the Lord, for he is their creator. We will leave you with your son for 1 year, so you may give your commands, teach your children, record for them, and testify to all your children. In the 2nd year, we shall take you from their midst. Let your heart be strong, for the good shall announce righteousness to the good. The righteous will rejoice with the righteous, and offer congratulations to one another. But the sinners shall die with the sinners, and the apostates shall go down with the apostates. Those who practice righteousness shall die because of the deeds of men, and be taken away because of the doings of the godless. With these words, the angels ceased to speak to Enoch. He returned to his people, blessing the Lord of the world. Enoch continued his teachings to his son, Methuselah, sharing the profound knowledge he had acquired. And now, my son Methuselah, Enoch said, I recount all these things to you, and write them down. Down for you. I have revealed everything to you, and given you books concerning all these matters. Preserve these books, my son, and ensure that they are delivered to the generations of the world. I have imparted wisdom to you, to your children, and to the generations to come. This wisdom surpasses human thought. Those who understand it shall not sleep. Instead, they will listen attentively, learning this wisdom, finding it more pleasing than the finest food. Blessed are all the righteous. Blessed are those who walk in the way of righteousness, and do not sin as the sinners do. In the reckoning of all their days, the sun traverses the heavens, entering and departing from the portals for 30 days, accompanied by the leaders of the stars. There are 4 additional days intercalated, dividing the 4 portions of the year, leading and entering with them. Owing to these days, men shall be at fault. failing to reckon them accurately throughout the entire year. They will not recognize them correctly. These days belong to the reckoning of the year and are recorded forever. One in the first portal, one in the third, one in the fourth, and one in the sixth. The year is completed in 364 days. The account of this reckoning is accurate, and the recorded reckoning is exact. Uriel, the holy angel, has shown and revealed to me everything about the luminaries, months, festivals, years, and days. Uriel, to whom the Lord of the whole creation has subjected the host of heaven, has shown me everything. He has power over night and day in heaven, causing light to shine upon men, the sun, the moon, the stars, and all the heavenly powers that revolve in their circular chariots. These are the orders of the stars, set in their places in their seasons, festivals, and months. The names of those who lead them, ensuring they enter at their appointed times, are as follows. There are 4 leaders who divide the 4 parts of the year: Milkiel, Helemelech, Melial, and Narel. After them, there are 12 leaders of the orders who divide the months. For the 360 days, there are heads over thousands who divide the days. For the 4 intercalary days, there are leaders who divide the 4 parts of the year. These heads over thousands are intercalated between leader and leader, each behind a station, but their leaders make the division. In the beginning of the year, Melchijal rises first and rules. He is named Tamaini, and the sun, and all the days of his dominion last 91 days. The signs of the days during his rule on earth are sweat, heat, and calm weather. All the trees bear fruit, leaves sprout on all the trees, wheat is harvested, roses bloom, and all the field flowers blossom. However, the trees of the winter season wither. The names of the leaders under him are Berkael, Zelabsel, and another head of 1,000, named Hilujaseph. Their dominion comes to an end, and then Helemelech, the next leader, rises. He is called the Shining Sun. All the days of his light are 91 days. The signs of the days on earth during his rule are glowing heat and dryness. The trees ripen their fruits, producing all fruits, ready for harvest. The sheep pair and become pregnant. All the fruits of the earth are gathered in, and everything in the fields, including the winepress, is harvested. The names of the leaders and their orders during this period are Gidaljal, Keel, Heel, and an additional head of 1,000, named Asphael. Their dominion, too, comes to an end. Now, my son Methuselah, I will show you all the visions I have seen, recounting them before you. I saw 2 visions before I took a wife, each quite unlike the other. The first vision came when I was learning to write, and the second came before I took your mother. It was a terrible vision. I prayed to the Lord concerning these visions. As I lay down in the house of my grandfather Mahalaleel, I saw a vision of the heavens collapsing and being borne off to fall to the earth. When it fell, I saw the earth swallowed up in a great abyss. Mountains were suspended upon mountains, hills sank into hills, and high trees were torn from their roots and hurled down into the abyss. A word fell into my mouth, and I lifted my voice to cry aloud, "The earth is destroyed." My grandfather Mahalaleel woke me as I lay near him and asked, "Why do you cry so, my son? Why do you make such lamentation?" I recounted to him the whole vision I had seen, and he said, "A terrible. What you have seen, my son, is a vision of great importance, the secrets of all the sin on earth. It must sink into the abyss and be destroyed in a great and mighty way. Now, my son, arise and make petition to the Lord of glory, since you are a believer. Pray that a remnant may remain on the earth, and that he will not destroy it completely. My son, know this: everything that is to come upon the earth will be a great destruction, and it will come from heaven. The earth will suffer, and it will be a time of great calamity. After this, I arose and prayed. I implored and beseeched the Lord. I wrote down my prayer for the generations of the world, and I will reveal everything to you, my son Methuselah. When I went out and looked towards the sky, I saw the heaven above me, the sun rising in the east, the moon setting in the west, and a few stars scattered across the heavens. I blessed the Lord of judgment and extolled him, for he had caused the sun to rise from the windows of the east, ascending on the face of the heavens and following the path set for it. I lifted my hands in righteousness and praised the Holy and Great One. With the breath of my mouth, I spoke and blessed God. It is he who gave us breath, a tongue, and a mouth to speak. Blessed be thou, O Lord King, great and mighty in thy greatness, Lord of all creation, King of kings, and God of the entire world. Your power, kingship, and greatness endure forever. From generation to generation, your dominion remains unshaken. All the heavens are your throne forever, and the whole earth is your footstool. For you have made, and you rule over all things, and nothing is too hard for you. Wisdom does not depart from the place of your throne, nor does it turn away from your presence. You know, see, and hear everything. Nothing is hidden from you. Now, the angels of the heavens are guilty of trespass, and upon the flesh of mankind rests your wrath, to be revealed on the great day of judgment. Now, O God, Lord, and great King, I implore you to fulfill my prayer. Leave me a posterity on the earth, and do not destroy all flesh, so that the earth is not left without inhabitants, causing eternal destruction. O Lord, destroy from the earth the flesh that has provoked your wrath, but establish the flesh of righteousness and uprightness, a plant of eternal seed. Do not hide your face from the prayer of your servant, O Lord. After this, I had another vision. I will show you the entirety of the dream, my son. Enoch spoke to Methuselah, saying, Listen to the vision I am about to recount. Before I married your mother, Edna, I saw a vision while lying on my bed. A white bull came up from the earth, followed by a heifer and 2 bulls, one black and one red. The black bull gored the red one and chased it across the earth until it vanished from sight. The heifer and the black bull grew together, producing many oxen. The first heifer, searching for the red bull, could not find it and mourned. The white bull comforted her, and she bore another white bull. From this new bull came many more white bulls, one of which grew to be a great white bull, leading others that resembled it. As I slept, I saw a star fall from heaven and land among the oxen. Then many stars fell, transforming into bulls among the cattle. These stars mated with the cows, producing offspring of elephants, camels, and donkeys. The offspring overpowered the oxen, devoured them, and spread. The earth trembled beneath their violence. I looked again and saw beings descending from heaven, their appearance resembling that of white men. One of them seized the first fallen star, bound it tightly, and cast it into a deep, dark abyss. Another drew a sword, handing it to the elephants, camels, and asses. They began to turn on one another, shaking the earth with their destruction. A white bull received secret instructions, transforming into a man. He built a great vessel, and with 3 other bulls, he entered it. Torrents of water flooded the earth, and the world was swept away. All the cattle and wild animals perished in the deluge, but the vessel remained afloat. When the waters receded, the white bull emerged, along with the 3 bulls. and they began to repopulate the earth. The vision then shifted, showing sheep oppressed by wolves. The sheep cried out to their Lord, who descended to pasture and protect them. He led them through divided waters, drowning the wolves that pursued them. The sheep followed their Lord, yet often wandered, becoming blind and lost. Their Lord raised leaders among them, but many turned away, and wild beasts devoured them. Shepherds were appointed to watch over the sheep, but they exceeded their instructions, causing destruction. A record of their deeds was kept, written in a book, and presented to the Lord. He judged the shepherds and cast them into a fiery abyss, along with the fallen stars. A new house, greater than the first, was established for the sheep. They gathered there with open eyes, finding safety and truth. A white bull with great horns arose, and all the sheep transformed into white bulls. The Lord of the sheep rejoiced over his restored flock. This vision revealed the destiny of all men and their deeds. Upon waking, I blessed the Lord and wept deeply over the magnitude of what I had seen. Enoch was chosen by God. God took him for himself, and there, in the heavens, Enoch learned the secrets of the universe. These revelations, hidden from the eyes of many, were passed on by Enoch to those who remained on earth. Among the greatest of these secrets were the prophecies of the apocalypse. The prophecies reveal that there will be a time of great tribulations, a period when sinners will be destroyed, and the righteous will be exalted. This is the account of the end times, the time of the great revelation of Enoch. Feeling the weight of his visions, Enoch called out to his son, Methuselah, "My son, summon all your brothers and gather all the sons of your mother," he instructed. "The word compels me, and the Spirit pours upon me. I must reveal everything that will come to pass." Methuselah, dutiful and prompt, went forth to summon his brothers and assemble all the family. Once they were gathered, Enoch addressed them, speaking to the children of righteousness with authority and love. "Hear, my sons," Enoch began, "and listen carefully to the words of your father. I exhort you, beloved, to love uprightness and walk in its path. Do not approach righteousness with a double heart, nor associate with those who have a double heart. Walk in righteousness, my sons, and let it guide you on the good paths. Let righteousness be your constant companion. For I know that violence must increase on the earth, and a great chastisement will be executed. All unrighteousness will come to an end, cut off at its roots, and its entire structure will be destroyed. Unrighteousness will re-emerge, and all deeds of violence and transgression will prevail in even greater measure. When sin, unrighteousness, blasphemy, and all kinds of violence and apostasy increase, a great chastisement will come from heaven. The Holy Lord will come forth with wrath and judgment to execute his will upon the earth. In those days, violence will be cut off at its roots, along with deceit and unrighteousness. They will be destroyed from beneath heaven. All the idols of the heathen will be abandoned, their temples burned with fire. They will be removed from the earth and cast into the judgment of fire, perishing in wrath and grievous judgment forever. The righteous shall rise from their sleep, and wisdom shall be given unto them. After that, the roots of unrighteousness will be cut off. Sinners will be destroyed by the sword, and blasphemers eradicated. From every place, those who plan violence and commit blasphemy shall perish by the sword. Enoch looked upon his sons with earnest eyes. Now, my sons, I tell you and show you the paths of righteousness and the paths of violence. I will show them to you again, so you may know what will come to pass. Listen to me, my sons, and walk in the paths of righteousness. Do not walk in the paths of violence, for all who walk in the paths of unrighteousness shall perish forever. My son Methuselah, let not your spirit be troubled by the times ahead, for the Holy and Great One has appointed days for all things. The righteous one shall rise from sleep, walk in the paths of righteousness, and all his ways shall be marked by eternal goodness and grace. He will be gracious to the righteous, granting them eternal uprightness and the power to dwell in goodness and righteousness. They shall walk in eternal light. Sin shall perish in darkness forever, never to be seen again. After these words, Enoch began to recount from the sacred books. Enoch said, "Concerning the children of righteousness, the elect of the world, and the plant of uprightness, I will speak these things. I, Enoch, declare to you, my sons, according to what appeared to me in the heavenly vision, which I have known through the word of the holy angels, and learned from the heavenly tablets." Enoch continued to recount from the books, saying, "I was born the 7th in the 1st week, when judgment and righteousness still endured. After me, in the 2nd week, great wickedness and deceit shall arise, leading to the first end. In that week, a man shall be saved, and after it ends, unrighteousness shall grow, and a law shall be made for sinners. In the 3rd week, at its close, a man shall be chosen as the plant of righteous judgment, and his descendants shall become the plant of righteousness forevermore. In the 4th week, at its close, visions of the holy and righteous shall be seen, and a law for all generations shall be established, creating an enclosure for them. In the 5th week, at its close, the house of glory and dominion shall be built forever. In the 6th week, all who live in it shall be blinded, and their hearts shall godlessly forsake wisdom. In that week, a man shall ascend, and at its close, the house of dominion shall be burnt with fire, and the chosen root shall be dispersed. In the 7th week, an apostate generation shall arise, performing many apostate deeds. At its close, the elect righteous of the eternal plant of righteousness shall be chosen to receive 7-fold instruction concerning all his creation. Who among all the children of men can hear the voice of the Holy One without being troubled? Who can think his thoughts? Who can behold all the works of heaven? Who can understand the things of heaven, see a soul or a spirit, and tell thereof, or ascend, and see all their ends, and comprehend them? Who among men can know the breadth and length of the earth, or to whom has the measure of all things been shown? Who can discern the length of the heaven, its height, its foundation, the number of stars, and where all the luminaries rest? Now I say to you, my sons, love righteousness and walk therein. For the paths of righteousness are worthy of acceptance, but the paths of unrighteousness shall suddenly be destroyed and vanish. To certain men of a generation, the paths of violence and death shall be revealed, and they shall avoid them, not following their ways. Now I say to you, the righteous, do not walk in the paths of wickedness or death, and do not draw near to them, lest you be destroyed. Seek and choose righteousness and an elect life. Walk in the paths of peace, and you shall live and prosper. Hold fast my words in your hearts, and do not let them be erased. For I know that sinners will tempt men to treat wisdom with contempt, so that no place may be found for her, and no manner of temptation may diminish. Woe to those who build unrighteousness and oppression, laying deceit as a foundation, for they shall be suddenly overthrown and have no peace. Woe to those who build their houses with sin, for their foundations shall be overthrown, and they shall fall by the sword. Those who acquire gold and silver unjustly shall perish suddenly. Woe to you, the rich, for you have trusted in your riches, and from your riches shall you depart, because you have not remembered the Most High in the days of your riches. You have committed blasphemy and unrighteousness, preparing yourselves for the day of slaughter, the day of darkness, and the great day of judgment. Thus, I speak and declare to you, He who created you will overthrow you, and there shall be no compassion for your fall. Your Creator will rejoice at your destruction. Your righteous ones in those days shall be a reproach to the sinners and the godless. Oh, that my eyes were a cloud of waters, so that I could weep over you and pour down my tears like rain. How I long for rest from my troubled heart. Who has given you permission to engage in such reproaches and wickedness? Judgment is coming, sinners. Do not fear, you righteous ones, for the Lord will deliver the sinners into your hands. You will have the power to execute judgment upon them as you desire. Woe to those who pronounce irreversible curses. Healing shall be far from you because of your sins. Woe to those who repay evil with evil. You will reap what you have sown, and your actions will return to you. Woe to the lying witnesses and those who deal out injustice. Your days are numbered, and you will perish suddenly. Woe to you, sinners, for you persecute the righteous. You will be delivered over to persecution, and the weight of injustice will be upon you. But do not lose hope, you righteous, for in the end, the sinners will perish before you, and you will rule over them according to your desires. In the day of tribulation for the sinners, your children will rise like eagles, soaring higher than vultures. Your nest will be elevated, and you will find refuge in the clefts of the earth and the rocks, forever hiding from the unrighteous. Even the sirens will sigh and weep because of you. Fear not, you who have suffered. Healing will be your portion. A bright light will shine upon you, and you will hear the voice of rest from heaven. Woe to you, sinners, whose riches make you appear righteous, yet your hearts betray you. These riches will stand as a testimony against you, a reminder of your evil deeds. Woe to those who devour the finest wheat and drink wine from large bowls, trampling on the lowly with their might. Woe to those who drink water from every fountain, for you shall wither away suddenly. You have forsaken the fountain of life, and your end will be swift. Woe to those who work unrighteousness, deceit, and blasphemy. Your deeds will become a memorial of evil against you. Woe to you, mighty ones, who oppress the righteous with your strength. The day of your destruction is drawing near. In those days, the righteous will experience many good days, and your judgment will come swiftly. Enoch's message continued with a stern warning for the sinners and a message of hope for the righteous. Believe, O righteous ones, that sinners will become ashamed and perish on the day of unrighteousness. Know this: the Most High is aware of your suffering, and the angels of heaven rejoice over your downfall. What will you do, sinners, when you are confronted by the righteous on the day of judgment? Where will you hide when you hear the prayers of the righteous? You will be like those against whom this word testifies. You have been companions of sinners. On that day, the prayers of the righteous will reach the Lord, and your judgment will come. All your unrighteous words and deeds will be read before the Great Holy One. Your faces will be covered in shame, and every work of unrighteousness will be rejected. Woe to you, sinners, who live on the seas and the dry land. Your remembrance will be a curse against you. Woe to you who acquire wealth in unrighteousness, saying, "We have become rich," We have possessions, and we have acquired everything we desired. We have gathered silver, and have many servants in our houses. Our granaries are full, as though they are filled with water. But just as water flows away, so will your lies. Your riches will not last. They will quickly vanish. You have acquired them through unrighteousness, and a great curse will befall you. Now, I swear to you, both the wise and the foolish, that you will face many challenges on the earth. You men will adorn yourselves with more decorations than a woman, wearing more colorful garments than a virgin. You will live in royalty, grandeur, and power, in silver, gold, and purple, in splendor and feasting. But all of this will be poured out like water. You will lack true wisdom and doctrine, and you will perish with all your possessions. In your glory and splendor, you will face shame, destruction, and great destitution. Your spirits will be cast into the furnace of fire. I swear to you, sinners, just as a mountain does not become a slave, and a hill does not serve a woman, sin has not been sent upon the earth by God. It is man who has created it. Those who commit sin will fall under a great curse. Barrenness has not been given to the woman by God, but because of her own deeds, she dies without children. I swear to you by the Holy Great One, that all your evil deeds are revealed in the heavens, and none of your acts of oppression are hidden or covered. Do not think in your spirit, nor say in your heart, that you do not know or see that every sin is recorded daily in heaven, in the presence of the Most High. From this moment on, know this truth. All your oppression, every unjust act, is written down every single day, until the day of your judgment. Woe to you, fools, for through your own folly you will perish. You transgress against the wise, and because of your wickedness, good fortune will never be your portion. Now understand, you are prepared for the day of destruction. Do not hope to live, you sinners, for death awaits you. You will depart this world and die, and there will be no ransom for your soul. You are prepared for the great day of judgment, a day of tribulation, great sorrow, and profound shame for your spirits. Woe to you, obstinate of heart, who work wickedness and consume the blood of the innocent. Where do you think your good food and drink come from? They come from all the good things the Lord, the Most High, has placed in abundance upon the earth. Yet you shall have no peace. Woe to you who delight in the deeds of unrighteousness. Why do you still hope for good fortune? Know this, you shall be delivered into the hands of the righteous, who will cut off your necks, slay you without mercy. Woe to you who rejoice in the suffering of the righteous, for you will not find a grave for your body. Your name will be erased from the earth. Woe to you who disregard the words of the righteous, for you will have no hope of life. Woe to you who write down lying and godless words, spreading them among others to deceive and lead them astray. These lies will cause others to act godlessly toward their neighbors. As a result, you will have no peace, and you will die a sudden death. Woe to you who work godlessness and take pride in lies, glorying in deceit. You will perish, and no good life will be yours. Woe to those who twist the words of righteousness, who transgress the eternal law, transforming themselves into sinners. These people will be trampled upon the earth, for they have perverted the path of truth. In those days, prepare yourselves, you righteous ones, to raise your prayers as a memorial before the Most High. Place your prayers as a testimony before the angels, that they may present the sins of the sinners before the Most High. In those days, the nations will be stirred up, and the families of the nations will rise on the day of destruction. The destitute will go forth, abandoning their children, so that their children may perish. They will forsake their babies and not return to them, showing no pity for their beloved ones. Once again, I swear to you, sinners, that sin is prepared for a day of unceasing bloodshed. Those who worship stones, graven images of gold, silver, wood, and clay, as well as impure spirits and demons, will receive no help from these false gods. They shall become godless, led astray by the folly of their hearts, with their eyes blinded by fear. Through these foolish ways they shall become lost, for they have worshipped a stone, and in an instant they will perish. But in those days, blessed are those who accept the words of wisdom, who understand them, and walk in the paths of the Most High. These are the ones who will be saved. Woe to you who spread evil to your neighbors. You will be slain in Sheol, for your actions will lead to your ruin. Woe to you who use deceitful measures, causing bitterness and pain upon the earth. You will be utterly consumed, for your deeds are an abomination. Woe to you who build your houses by the grievous toil of others, using bricks and stones of sin. You shall have no peace, for your foundation is built on wickedness. Woe to those who reject the eternal inheritance of their fathers, whose souls follow after idols, for they will have no rest. Woe to those who work unrighteousness, who help oppression, and slay their neighbors. Until the day of the great judgment, their deeds will be remembered. The Most High shall cast down your glory, bring affliction to your hearts, and stir up his fierce indignation against you. He will destroy you all with the sword. All the holy and righteous will remember your sins. In those days, fathers and sons will be struck down together. Brothers will fall dead in the streets, until the rivers flow with the blood of the wicked. A man will not hesitate to slay his own sons and grandsons, and sinners will not spare even their honored brothers. From dawn till sunset, they will kill each other. The horse will walk through blood up to its breast, and the chariot will be immersed in the blood of the guilty. In those days, the angels shall descend to the earth, moving through secret places, to gather together all those who have brought sin upon the world. The Most High will rise up on the day of judgment to execute his great and final judgment among the sinners. Over all the righteous and the holy, he will appoint guardians from among the holy angels to protect them as the apple of his eye. These guardians will keep watch over them until he brings an end to all wickedness and sin. Though the righteous may sleep a long, peaceful sleep, they will have no cause for fear. The children of the earth will see the wise living in security and understand all the words written in this book. They will come to realize that their riches will not save them from the inevitable destruction of their sins. Woe to you, sinners, on the day of great anguish. You who afflict the righteous, burning them with fire, shall be repaid according to your deeds. Woe to you, obstinate of heart, who plot wickedness. Fear shall fall upon you, and there will be no one to help you. Woe to you, sinners, for the words of your mouth and the deeds of your hands, which you have wrought in godlessness. In blazing flames, even worse than fire, you shall burn. Know this: the angels will inquire about your deeds in heaven. Even the sun, the moon, and the stars will bear witness against you, for they have seen your sins. The Most High will summon every cloud, mist, dew, and rain to testify against you. These elements will be withheld because of you, and they will remember your wickedness. You must offer gifts to the rain, hoping it will not withhold itself from you. You must give gold and silver to the dew, hoping it will descend. But when the hoarfrost, snow, and storms of plague fall upon you, you will be unable to stand before them. Children of heaven, Observe the heavens and take note of every work of the Most High. Fear him and do not commit evil in his presence, he proclaimed. If he closes the windows of heaven and withholds the rain and dew from descending upon the earth because of your deeds, what will you do then? If he sends his anger upon you, you cannot plead with him, for you have spoken insolent words against his righteousness. Therefore, you shall have no peace. Do you not see the sailors of the ships? Their vessels are tossed to and fro by the waves, shaken by the winds, and they are in great trouble. They fear because their precious possessions are being swallowed by the sea, and they dread their doom. Is not the entire sea, with all its waters and movements, the work of the Most High? Has he not set boundaries for it, confining it with sand? At his reproof, the sea is afraid and dries up. All its fish die, and everything in it perishes. Yet, you sinners on the earth, do not fear him. Has he not made the heavens and the earth, and everything in them? Who has given wisdom and understanding to all things that move on the earth and in the sea? Do not the sailors fear the sea? Yet sinners do not fear the Most High. In those days, when he brings a terrible fire upon you, where will you flee? Where will you seek deliverance? When he launches his word against you, will you not be filled with fear? All the heavenly luminaries shall be terrified, and the earth itself will tremble in alarm. All the angels will carry out their commands, seeking to hide from the presence of the great glory. The children of the earth shall quake with fear, and you sinners will be cursed forever, with no peace. Do not fear, you souls of the righteous. Be hopeful, you who have died in righteousness. Grieve not if your soul has descended into Sheol in sorrow, and your body did not fare according to your goodness. Wait patiently for the day of judgment that is coming for the sinners, the day of cursing and chastisement. Enoch's tone softened as he addressed the righteous, offering them hope. Even when you die, the sinners will speak over you, saying, "Just as we die, so do the righteous." What benefit do they gain from their deeds? Look, even as we die in grief and darkness, they are no different from us. What will they receive in the end? Behold, they too have died and will never see the light again. But know this, dear righteous ones, your reward is greater than they can comprehend. Though the sinners speak of your fate with mockery, they do not know the glorious future that awaits you. You shall rise again, and with your resurrection, the glory of the Most High shall be revealed. You shall shine with everlasting light, and the sinners, those who mocked you, will see the truth of your righteousness. And in that moment, they shall be filled with dread and fear, for they will know that their evil deeds have led them to destruction. So, endure in faith, for your reward is certain, and your deliverance will come from the Most High. Fear not the troubles of this world, for they are but temporary, but the eternal peace of the righteous shall last forever. I tell you, sinners, you are content to eat and drink, to rob and sin, to strip men naked, to acquire wealth, and to enjoy good days. You are satisfied with your actions, thinking that your pleasures will last forever. Have you ever stopped to consider the fate of the righteous? Have you seen how their lives unfold? Despite their righteousness, they experience no violence or wrong until their death, and yet they perish, as though they had never existed. Their spirits descend into Sheol in great tribulation, and they are lost to eternity. They vanish from the earth, as if they had never been. Enoch's voice grew somber and filled with reverence as he began recounting a vision. A vision meant not only for his son Methuselah, but also for those who would follow in the coming days. especially those who would strive to keep the law in the last days. Those of you who have done good, be patient and wait for those days when the wicked will come to their end. The might of the transgressors will be broken, Enoch declared. Wait patiently, for sin shall pass away. The names of the sinners will be blotted out of the book of life and out of the holy records. Their descendants shall be destroyed forever, and their spirits shall be slain. They will cry and lament in a place of chaos, a wilderness of confusion, and there, in the fire, they will burn, for there is no place for them on the earth. In his vision, Enoch saw a vast and invisible cloud, so deep and so great that he could not see above it. As he gazed into this ominous sight, a bright flame of fire blazed fiercely before him. The flame was surrounded by what appeared to be shining mountains, which moved in a strange, swirling motion. Enoch, both curious and deeply concerned, asked one of the holy angels who stood with him, "What is this shining thing? It does not seem like heaven. It seems more like the flame of a blazing fire, and I hear the voices of weeping, crying, lamentation, and intense pain. What is this place?" The angel replied with a tone of deep sorrow, "This place you see, this is where the spirits of sinners and blasphemers are cast. These are the ones who worked wickedness on earth, perverting everything that the Lord has spoken through the mouth of the prophets. These things are decreed, and some are already written and inscribed in the heavens, so that the angels may read them and understand what will happen to the sinners. But here, in this place, are also the spirits of the humble. These are the ones who afflicted their bodies and were recompensed by God. They are those who were put to shame by wicked men, but who loved God and never sought after gold, silver, or any of the good things this world has to offer. They gave their bodies to torture, enduring it all for the love of their Lord." The angel continued, "These righteous ones are those who, from the moment they came into being, never longed for earthly pleasures. They saw everything of this world as fleeting, a passing breath, and they lived accordingly. The Lord tested them greatly, but their spirits were found pure, and they were able to bless his holy name. All the blessings destined for them are recorded in the heavenly books. He has assigned them their rightful recompense because they loved heaven more than life on earth. Though they were trampled by wicked men, suffered abuse, reviling, and shame, yet they never cursed God. Instead, they blessed his name and remained faithful to him." Enoch's voice took on a tone of hope and promise as he recounted the angel's words. "Now I will summon the spirits of the good, those who belong to the generation of light. I will transform those who were born in darkness, who, in their flesh, were never rewarded for their faithfulness. I will bring them forth in shining light, and they shall be seated upon thrones of honor. Their glory will be radiant for all eternity, for righteousness is the judgment of God. To the faithful, he will grant faithfulness in the habitation of upright paths." Enoch's vision culminated in a powerful and solemn image. "The righteous shall see those who were born in darkness being led into even greater darkness, while they themselves shall shine brightly. The sinners will cry out, seeing the righteous in their glory, but it will be too late. They will be cast into a place where days and seasons are appointed for them, and they will endure the judgment that they so justly deserve." Enoch stood before his son Methuselah, his voice filled with authority and solemnity. He spoke words of hope and encouragement, meant to uplift the righteous and strengthen their resolve in the days ahead. "I swear to you, Methuselah, that this will come to pass. The Lord has promised it. The wicked will not go unpunished, and the righteous will receive their due reward. Trust in this, and let it be a beacon of hope for all generations. In heaven, the angels remember you for good before the glory of the Great One. Your names are written before his glorious throne. Enoch spoke with a radiant light in his eyes, his voice filled with a divine assurance. Be hopeful, for though you were once shamed by affliction and suffering, now you shall shine as the lights of heaven. You will radiate with such brilliance that all will see. The gates of heaven will open to you, and your cries will be heard.